everybody, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to talk about the sun in the sign of Aries. So the sun in Aries is the best position to have your sun in because the sun is exalted in that sign. What exalted means is basically the planet is most comfortable in that sign. The sun is very comfortable in masculine fire signs because it's a very masculine planet and it's obviously a very fiery planet. The sun also rules our ego and our sense of self. The sun is our soul's expression in this lifetime, so it does really, really well in the sign of Aries, as Aries also has an affiliation with the ego. So I've got some notes right here. I'm just going to go through some things about Aries. So Aries is a cardinal fire and masculine sign. So being a cardinal sign, Aries is very good at initiating things. Sometimes Aries can lack follow through, but they get really excited and really fired up, ready to go about initiating new things. They're a fire sign. If you think about the element fire, when you light something on fire, the first thing it does is the smoke goes up. So if you think about that in terms of someone's personality, it's very energetic. The first thing it does is it rises up. Whereas you could think of something else like water, which is more wavy and stable. So the fire signs are really, really great at taking action. They can be very enthusiastic, especially the sign of Aries. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is a planet of action, of determination, willpower. Mars is technically a malefic planet, so it does have an association with anger and irritability and things of that nature, but overall this is a really great place to have your natal sun in. So the only issue I believe with Aries as far as the cardinal signs, and all cardinal signs do deal with this issue, is that cardinal signs, like I said, are great at taking action, but actually going with the follow through can be really hard. They're great at like initiating new things, but they might start one project, do another project, and then have trouble seeing that all the way through. But they love taking on new projects. So if you have your sun in the sign of Aries, some of this can apply, but not all of it may apply. For example, sun in Aries is also the natural ruler of the first house, which is a very out there in the open house. It actually rules our personality itself and our physical appearance. So you might not resonate as much with the things I say in this video if you have certain factors. For example, if your sun is in Aries and the 12th house conjunct Saturn. Saturn is a very restrictive planet. It's a very grounding planet, and the 12th house is a very hidden house. So if you have something like that, you might not really resonate with that strong willpower out there, Aries. So if you don't feel like you resonate with this and you are a sun in Aries, feel free to go to my website, ReikiAstrologyWithLindsay.com, and there you can go to the services page, and you can actually book a reading with me and see why you don't resonate with this. So Aries are very ardent. They're very let's go for it, me first, competitive. But with that can come with a little bit of an egotistical energy, but that can be really great because it's a good sign to really put yourself out there. You're not afraid to be in the spotlight or afraid to be seen. You're a very action-oriented person. You really like to get things done because we have that Mars, that willpower, action, drive, a need to take action. But with that can come a little bit of impulsiveness. You're really good, of course, at being active. You could really enjoy exercise, taking action, checking off that to-do list, but that can also come with a lot of impatience. I know as a moon in Aries myself, so I'm not slamming you sun in Aries by any means. You guys can be a little impulsive. You're like, I'm so ready to take action that I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to get it done. And sometimes you guys don't think it through all of the way, so do be aware of that as one of the issues you can have. Aries is also the pioneer. You were the first person to get things done. You are the first one that's going to do it. If no one's doing it before and the first person does it, I bet that person has some sort of sun, moon, or rising Aries in their chart. With that though, being ruled by the planet Mars, Mars is also aggression. So Aries individuals, especially Sun and Aries, can be aggressive, and that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you can use that aggression to your benefit, because you guys tend to be rather competitive and you're really ready to win. So you guys can just be like aggressive, me first, I'm going for it. But just make sure you guys don't take that aggression too far. Make sure you channel that into positive things and not negative. A really good way for you guys, Sun and Aries, to channel that energy would be to get into some sort of competitive sports. Aries likes to compete even against itself. So if there's something that you can do that can allow you to, be first and use that energy, that aggression, that determination to win, that would be great. And I think that sports would be a really good option. Any type of contest, even gaming, just gaming and being number one on a game could be really great for you guys. So you tend to be rather independent. I would say that Aries, along with Sagittarius, those are the two most independent of all the signs. So you guys like to do things yourself. You're not typically the person that wants someone to hold the door for you. You rather go and just open the door first. But with that, again, can be the con side of it. Everybody has pros and cons to their sign. You guys can be a little bit combative at times. If someone talks back to you, you're not likely to take that too well. So make sure, like I said, you find a way to channel that Aries aggression, combativeness into something good before someone ticks you off and then it comes out in a not so positive way. So you guys, like I said before, are super energetic. You're super driven. Think about Mars again. That's the planet of willpower, of action, of drive. So you guys can really be high achievers because you do have that martial energy that's just ready to get it done, ready to take action. So the color associated with Mars is red, and that does symbolize the willpower, the anger, and the assertiveness of Aries. But the only issue again with the Aries is they can have over aggression. They can also have a tendency, and I'm not saying this is everyone, but there is a possibility with having the Sun in Aries that you can be a bit unreliable. Only because with that cardinal energy, you guys are great at starting things, but you might lack that follow through and say, I loved beginning this new thing. Say you start a workout routine, for example. You're like, I really loved starting that. I really loved, beginning something new and all that new energy I put into this project, but now I'm kind of tired of it and I want something new. I can completely relate as a moon in Aries myself. So try to make sure that you're going to stick to your goals, Sun in Aries, before you actually begin it. So Aries is a very assertive sign. I often will see Sun in Aries either in the spotlight doing something like YouTube. It could also be something where you guys are in a position of power. Mars, the ruler of Aries, also rules military. So I see a lot of Sun in Aries people being in the military, especially in positions of power. So again, with Mars being a very physical sign, you do need to make sure that you guys find a martial way to channel that energy. So that could be anything Mars in nature. So that could be something physical like exercise, taking action. Sex would be a really great one. Anything where you're utilizing that energy and releasing it in a positive way, especially if you are a moon in Aries. So Aries can be very self-aware, very me first. Like I said, they're very competitive. So make sure that you guys aren't too egotistical. They're extremely self-aware, very physical signs. So you guys, I would say, are the most spontaneous, Sagittarius as well, but you guys are super spontaneous, super risk-taking. You might like to skydive or do any type of sports where there's actually a high amount of risk involved. You guys really, you just live for the thrill. That is 100% Aries. You guys are super eager, super self-motivated, and you guys can be quite ambitious, goal-oriented people. Along with Sagittarius, you guys are super explorative. Again, Aries is that pioneer. They're ready to go get stuff done. Let's explore. I know a lot of Sun and Aries people that really like to hike and really like to do a lot of those physical, explorative things. And on the other side of it though, guys, you can be dominating, brash, tactless. Sometimes you guys can just kind of, especially if you have Mercury, the planet of communication in Aries, you guys can just like say it like it is. You don't really have that filter. You just say it like it is. So definitely watch out, guys. Make sure you're not being too brash. If you guys have something, maybe you're in a position of power and you have to confront an employee, I would recommend, if you feel comfortable, talking to a family member or a friend, and just make sure that what you're saying is not too brash, because the way you see it, you're like, I just say it the way it is. I'm going to say it how I'm going to say it, and no filter. So I definitely think Aries could work on trying to be a little bit more peaceful. So your opposite sign is Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is all about peace, love, harmony, bliss. So make sure you guys work on that a little bit, and make sure that you're not being too brash, too harsh. Sometimes Sun and Aries can even come off as a little arrogant or rude. Another thing is uncooperative and combative. Those are some terms used to describe Aries, specifically Sun in Aries. If you guys have, for example, an employer coming to you saying, you know, we really need to work on this, utilize that strong inner willpower, that fire that you guys have, to actually change that and take action, because it can be really hard for you to take advice from other people without getting snippy. So I definitely work on that. You guys can also, Aries naturally rules the first house in astrology. The first house is the self. It's the physical body. It's why Aries is such a physical sign. But you guys do need to work on not saying me first all the time. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. It's, excuse me, the ruler of the first house. So make sure that you guys aren't becoming too self-absorbed. So you guys could really use that energy again to really step into the spotlight with confidence. So again, with that other side, Aries can be tactless, arrogant, uncooperative, combative, and defiant. If someone comes to you guys and said, I really don't like how you handled that, you are not likely to be all peaches and cream about it. You're probably going to be rather defiant. So I definitely take some tips for your opposite sign, Libra, and make sure you learn to cooperate a little bit more one-on-one with people. So I'd also watch out for being a bit self-absorbed, selfish. That's very me first, Aries energy. You guys can also be angry and hot-headed at times. You can be very impetuous. You can like novelty a little bit too much. And like I said, one thing that I didn't mention is Mars, the ruler of Aries, rules injuries. So you guys can also be very accident prone. So I would watch for watch out for that. So that's all I have for you, Sun in Aries. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sending you guys all lots of love and lots of light on your journey. Namaste.